Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today for your Thursday Common Sense Parenting Facebook Live. My name is Gabby, and I am here with Common Sense Parenting expert Bridget Barnes, and we are going to be discussing social skills today. So, this is a timely topic for children of all ages, from toddlers to teens. Social skills is something that every child can benefit from, especially when it comes to making friends. So, for everybody watching, if you have questions for Bridget as we go through our conversation today, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below and we will try to get them answered as we can. Bridget, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. Thanks, Gabby.
Good. Great to see you
Glad
again.
to be here with you today to talk about this topic. This is an important topic as, we're getting ready to go back to school and everything.
Definitely. Yeah, that leads us right into our first question, actually. So, how can we teach our children social skills over the summer to best prepare them for socializing at school?
Well, I think probably the best way to do it is model it yourself. It's just like when we teach children to learn how to speak or read. So I would do that social skill. And then while I'm doing it, I would point it out. I'm using the social skill, like, following the instructions on the biscuit recipe box, or I am, accepting dad's criticism that he made about the hot dogs. I don't know, but whatever the
Yeah.
case may be, model it first. Another way to do it is, in children's chores. The children have chores to do every day. And I focus with my kids when they were little, I focused on the social skill they had to do to get the chore done, even more so than the chore. So staying on task, accepting criticism, completing the chore, checking back. That's what they got rewarded for. So not just the chore, but how they did the chore. And then I found they did the chore better because I focused on the social skill it took to do it. You can play a game like this is a really cool game, the integrity game. And we have little things up on our site that can help you with this. And this asks questions like, it has like a table discussion. It says, in the past, what have you practiced as far as as far as perseverance? And then you can have a discussion about those social skills at your dining room table or at a family meeting. Whatever you do, try to make it fun and interactive with your kid. And you can include other kids if they're healthy and okay with practicing social distancing. And that will help your kids learn a lot about social skills.
Yeah. I love that because I especially think when you think of the topic of social skills, it's such a broad topic that parents might feel overwhelmed or not know where to start when it comes to pointing out certain instances and teaching them. So I love what you said about the chores and kind of zoning in and focusing on that. And then of course the game always makes it fun. So that's awesome. Okay, so the
Great.
next question is, because of a family member's medical condition, my child has been e-learning this past year. He is returning to in-person school this upcoming fall, and I fear that his social skills will fall behind due to learning at home. How can I best prepare him to succeed in school in person over the next semester?
Well, I first sit down with your kiddo and talk to them about their fears and anxieties about going back to school, and then discuss and have a plan about maybe how to problem solve. We have a great tool called the SOTUS method of how that they could work through some issues that they think they might be faced with that might cause them some difficulty. I used to visit the school early. All teachers go back to school usually in August, and I would make a little appointment because my kiddo had ADHD to visit the school and have a little tour. You can take a friend with you or sibling and just tour around the school and talk about different places that might have the child feel anxious, like the cafeteria. They might feel
Right.
anxious to go in there, or open spaces, whatever the case may be. Um, do mindful exercises in the morning with your kid right now during the summer months, to help them to learn how to calm themselves down and have a calming routine that they can use when school starts. And then sign your kid up for extracurricular activities after school so that they can learn how to interact with other kids Of course, it has to be COVID protocol or whatever so that everybody feels comfortable and safe. Because some of this is anxiety that kids are feeling about COVID. It is not, kids are not missing the email on this particular issue. And so to help them with their anxieties and their feelings and their lack of maybe social skills, because, online, you don't always have to be paying attention to the person talking to you.
Mhm.
So getting them back acclimated to those skills slowly but surely.
Yeah, definitely. So, what about shy kids? This person says, my child is very shy and struggles to socialize in groups. How can I encourage them to get out of their
Well, some children are naturally shy, and that's okay.
shyness?
Being shy isn't necessarily a problem. They're just more introverted in their approach to life, and that's okay. You can give your child some tools that they could use to feel more confident and more capable in groups, whether they're small or large groups. One thing I used to teach my kids is to focus on eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on eyes. And what this does is that it helps them not to get so much information. We get all of our 80% of our information through our eyes, and so when we see lots of color and light, whatever, it can confuse us and can distract us. And so when they're talking, they should talk to eyes, right? And not at the floor and not at the ceiling, not around when they're talking, but focus on a pair of eyes and be willing to share their views with people that they trust, that they know and they have relationship with, and they don't have to feel like they have to do that with people that they don't have that kind of relationship with. If they don't meet the trust, the time and that relationship uh, keys, then I say you don't have to share. You can begin to ask questions, more so than sharing. Feel comfortable sharing when you feel comfortable sharing.
Yes. What advice do you have to teach children how to better listen to their friends? This mom
Mm-hmm.
says, when I overhear their conversations in the car, it seems like my child is talking the most and not focusing on what they
Yeah, and having a conversation with your kid about that, about the first 5 minutes in the car. I want you not to give information, but to ask for information by using focus on eyes, number one, looking at the person, and active listening. That's when you're nodding and you're giving comment like, wow, or yes, or great. And then ask questions. Ask them close ended question. You have to ask that open ended question and a follow up question before you can begin talking about the thing you're interested in. So if your kid uses that focus on eyes, the active listening, making the comment into three different kinds of questions, then they should have enough time between, when they're talking, the other person's talking, so they don't kind of take over the
Mhm.
conversation.
Yeah, and I think too, just explaining to your child the meaning behind that of why being an active listener is so important. How does it make them feel when they're listening to you? How they, being a good friend feels, and explaining why it's so important will also help your child see, oh, this does make a big difference in my experience when my friend thinks that I'm not listening.
Yeah, I'm noticing, Gabby, that we're all adults and children having difficulty giving the other person a chance to talk because we've been away from
Yeah,
people. And so then we're with them. We just want to share so much and we're anxious
yeah,
about getting all our thoughts out because when will I see you again? And so there's a little anxiety there going on. And I'm glad you brought up talking about your feelings because some of that could be just really being anxious and wanting so much to share because we've been away from others for
yes,
a while.
yeah, for sure. I know I'm that way when I'm with my friends. I can talk to talk, so I relate to that. Okay, so the next question is, my child struggles to maintain eye contact when speaking to someone. How can I help them improve this?
Well, maintaining eye contact is difficult for even adults. So it takes training, it takes practice, and it takes time. So again, teaching the child how to focus on eyes and then how to glance away. Not glance away like let me see what's over here, but glancing away while the other person is speaking
Yeah.
and then back up at that person during that conversation. And then just encouraging kids to practice these skills at least 3 times a day, I would say, so they get good at it. And it's kind of like automatic pilot when they are communicating. And then rewarding them for practicing focus on eyes and glancing away, but coming back to eyes in the conversation. So, and all, using all their active listening skills. So, I think, just make it more focused training versus expecting it and telling kids and then acting like they're are automatically supposed to know how to do these things when,
Yeah.
as adults, we struggle with the same skill set.
Right. Yeah, definitely. So my young child has a hard time sharing. When we have play dates with other kids, sharing toys ends up being a big fight. How can I help him understand that sharing is caring and is key to building friendships?
I love that statement, sharing is caring, because it really is. It really is. And understanding that little people at different ages are going to struggle with sharing, especially if they're an only and they don't have other siblings to share with, or they're the youngest, and being understanding of that they are going to struggle. Not overreacting as a parent that why aren't they sharing more? But when I see a child having difficulty with sharing, it just tells me something. They need more opportunities sharing.
Yes.
So I'm going to give them that opportunity every day, sharing with me, sharing with your sibling, sharing with the dog, sharing with a friend, sharing with a neighbor. And so kids will just, it's just something that we do. It is not this foreign thing that I know nothing about. And then when someone wants me to do it, I have a problem with that. So just exposing them more to it and having the expectation.
Yeah. I see some questions coming in, so for those watching, just know that we will answer them for you. Okay, so the next one is my middle schooler is having a hard time making friends. It's totally that age where cliques are prevalent, so she's having a hard time finding her group. Any advice?
Well, I would say not. Let's not start with a group. Let's, sometimes just finding an individual can be enough. But ask your kid first, what, what thing or what are they interested in first, and finding that thing they're interested in will help them find the group, so to speak. And once they find the group that is doing that thing they really love to do, then they should look for one person in that group that they kind of click with, they have similar likes and views with. And when they find that one person, it might be enough, but they might find that there's a couple of more people that also are like them in that group. So finding the thing you love to do first versus finding the group is what I would suggest they do.
Yeah, that's great. How can I help my child practice social skills while playing sports? My kid is pretty competitive and can let his emotions get the best of him when the game doesn't go his way.
Well, yeah, that sounds familiar. If I had a nickel for every time a parent asked me about that, oh my
Oh yeah,
gosh. Well,
you'd be rich.
hey, yeah, I would be. Kids are using social skills all the time, especially kids who are successful athletes are just really using their social skills. And it's up to us as adults and as parents to notice those social skills and reward kids for using the social skill of listening to their coach, following the instruction of the captain of the team, accepting the criticism of of whoever's giving them criticism, a problem solving on a issue that they're facing versus getting frustrated, using assertiveness. It goes on and on. The skills that kids are using in a sport, and then complimenting them on using that social skill again versus we usually say, wow, you made that touchdown, or wow, you did that hook shot. We say things about the athletic part of what they're doing, and I think we're going to continue to do that, but also notice the social skill and praise them for that.
hmm What, in your opinion, is the most important social skill to teach children?
Mm. Well, this is kind of a trick question for me because I really feel there's actually two skills that go together
Okay.
in order to make good friends. One of them is self advocacy. Okay, kind of being aware of self and being able to advocate for self, for yourself. And then the other one that goes with that, hand in hand, is sensitivity to others. And when kids learn how to have self advocacy and be sensitive to others, I feel that these are important skills to help them build emotional intelligence and for them to make healthy friendships versus just friendships, right?
Hmm.
Some of the kids have lots of friends, but they're not always the kind of friends that they should have.
Yes.
So when kids can self advocate and be sensitive to others, I really believe that they can make healthy friendships.
Hmm. Good. Okay, so we do have a couple questions in the comment section. So the first one is observation. So, Bridget, do you have advice on how to get an individual who is very defiant to get to be more cooperative?
Okay, I think I heard you say, how do you get a 5-year old to me who's very defiant to be more cooperative?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. So I would say with a whole lot of practice
Yes.
and a whole lot of patience,
But
you
you
can
can't
get
do this
that 5-year old.
live.
It will not happen overnight, and it really takes a parent with patience and consistency. That's really the key. I'm sure this parent would agree. If we're inconsistent about a child who is, defiant, and we give in eventually, we actually train our kids to limit test us. If they have to ask us 15 times and then we acquiesce and give it to them, they really learn over time. I just need to keep this up until she says yes. You're right. And so one thing is that you have to be consistent and follow through. If you said no, then the answer is no. Okay. And then if you feel like the child is just continuing and being very aggressive, then give them time to calm down and you take a break too, so that you don't want to give in. Because if you just stay there, it'll make you want to give in. So take a break from your kiddo, go do something else to, asu or get yourself calmed down or whatever the case may be. But definitely be consistent, be patient with yourself and your child, and have that expectation that okay, that's not that kind of behavior won't get you what you want. You know.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, and for the individual who asked that question, we do have many different competency parenting classes that are available online, and they're all virtual. So their class series, you can sign up for them online. I'll make sure to put the link in the discussion, and it will be a helpful way to find even more ways and tips and tricks to how to get with any of those. Thanks. Okay, and then the next question is, how can I encourage my 6-year-old to finish tasks? For him, everything is a waste of time except eating. So how can I make him try new things?
So I think I heard you say that. How do you get your kiddo to stay on task?
Yeah, or finish tasks.
Finish task. Okay,
Yes.
finish a task. And they think doing a task is kind of a waste of their time.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. So, if time is important to that little person and they want to get back to the fun things in life, I make time the important thing. So then I might use a timer and say, okay, here's the task. You have so much time to get it done. And almost like a game. Ready, set, go. And I break up the task so it's little bitty things to do versus do this whole clean your entire room or do this big task. I break the task up like go and get all the stuff you need to clean this thing and check back. No, go and do, this and check back. And so after a while, what my son would say to me when I would give him little parts of the task to do, Mom, I can do the whole thing. I'm like, oh, you can? Well, go ahead and show me. And then he would show me, like, look, you don't have to keep taking up my time with all these little tasks. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, see how my plan comes together.
That's perfect.
So break up the task, give them a time to check back in, And then these little bitty tasks are not so overwhelming and they won't get off task or, just stop doing what they're supposed to do. So
Right.
get a timer. It's a good investment. An egg timer will save your life. Go ahead and get that.
Yeah. And the kids think it's fun, so that's good. Okay, last
Oh
question.
yeah, I used to use it like Yeah, I used to use it even for bedtime. So
Yeah.
when I would say, just doing the commercial, I would say, okay, the commercial's on, go and put your pajama top on, and then come back, and who would beat each other? So the kids were just running over each other trying to get on their pajama top and get back before that commercial was over. So it was, yeah, I made it fun, but I got what I wanted done.
Yeah, that's such a good idea. Okay, so the last question is what resources does Boys Town offer for teaching social skills
Oh my gosh,
besides the
so many, right?
stuff?
Well, definitely, you can go up to our parenting.org site and just put into the engine social skills, and then you're going to get this plethora of different things. We have just so much information, videos, and articles, and how to and experts. And there's a wonderful tool on there called communication skills. I would just definitely push on that one. You can come to our classes because there's nothing like talking to other parents about what's going on with you and finding out you're not alone, and also learning some really great skills at our class. So I would definitely do that. 10 social skills every parent should know. Sign up for that. You get that free. It's like a little pamphlet that'll come to you. And if your child has a special need like autism, there's an article up there. Lots of articles on how to help kids make friends. And there's a beautiful book on friendship. There's so many books in the Boys Town Press on friendships and making friends. Making friends is an art, and all kind of books up there. So definitely go to Boys Town Press to learn about some books that you could get that could your children could actually read about how to make friends, whether they're a teenager or they're a young child. So lots of ways to get articles on our site on sports and social skills or making friends and using social skills. So much stuff. Please go up to the boystown.org site and check us out.
Yes, and I will make sure to link all of these resources that Bridget just mentioned in the comment section of this video. And I will also add the link to sign up for a. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Bridget, thank you. As always, your advice is much needed and very helpful. And I really appreciate you joining us.
You're welcome anytime.
All right. Well, thank you everybody and have a great rest of your afternoon.